Hello everyone, my name is Hisham. I'm the owner of Clemson Aeronautics in Seneca, South Carolina. And we are building an RV-14A to demonstrate the tooling that we make for the experimental aircraft market, which is a new riveting and dimpling system. And this is our 6th video. Before I start with what I'm doing here, just a small tip for, again, that one guy that doesn't know, this might make it a little easier for him, riveting with the squeezer. It's best if you can put the cup or curved shape die in the part that does not move when you are riveting with the squeezer. So you would move, the movable pin would be the one that squeezes, and this one would have the rivet head, the factory head, manufacturer's head in it. So that way you can line it up a lot better, and the movable, and the whole thing would be stable. Then you come up with the pin to it to squeeze the rivet. I'll demonstrate that in a very short video, just in case if somebody out there that doesn't know. Riveting a 470 rivet, I usually put the cup on this side and the flat die on this side, because this is the movable side. So when I position my cup over the head, it stays where it is. Then I can squeeze with the movable die. This way my hand doesn't move so much. And now, page 6-5 calls for certain sequence of riveting the skin to the skeleton of the vertical stabilizer. And it doesn't say to put the rear spar on, but I think with the rear spar on, it will hold it rigid in place while I put the skin. Then after I put the skin and cleco it, I can just remove this clecos down here and remove the rear spar and go about my riveting of the skin to the skeleton. But it would probably make it easier to do so, and I'm gonna attempt right now to put the skin back on and cleco it to the skeleton. It's not quite as stable as I thought it would be, so I guess the end result is I should have put something to stabilize it here, like put like a couple of 2x4s, one underneath here and one across to hold it flat. Well, evidently the issue that I was running into here trying to get the clecos on there is it was a little bit too dark and I couldn't see, and I just put my Harbor Freight light in there, and then I can look through the hole and I can see the light and I can line up the holes a lot better. But it went along pretty good after that. And now actually I think putting on the rear spar made it a lot easier to install the skin. And now that I am finished with that, I am just gonna go ahead and pull the rear spar out so we can commence with the riveting of the skin to the skeleton. Now the rear spar is out, and I'm gonna get myself set up for riveting, and I'll be right back. This is a continuation to yesterday's video. Where I left off was I was putting the skin on the skeleton and clicking it, and I was supposed to start riveting. And I never did really start filming again because of the issues that I was running through. I really had a hard time riveting it. I wanted to try it off camera a little bit and see how the riveting is gonna go with the hand all the way in, and it's kind of dark inside and all that stuff. And last time I riveted anything, it was back in AMP school, and I had to kind of get warmed up into that again, but the end result is I reached a point where I was very frustrated. I wasn't doing very good. Then things got a lot better, and I'm gonna get a closer shot here so you guys can see the beginning of this operation right here. And I wonder if this is you can see, like for instance this here. It's not a dent. This is not dented, but it is scratched. Then you can tell up here where it got a lot better. And then here are even better. And let me explain the difference between the really clean rivets and the one that looks like it's scratched pretty bad was this tape right here. That's all it took. I covered every rivet with it, and this is the result I got. The ones that looks pretty scratchy are the ones that was not covered with tape. So advice is use tape. So today, before I came to the shop, I stopped by Home Depot and I got these two tapes. One is that pink one. Is the glue on it is not supposed to be so strong as the blue one, and it is a little bit wider than the one I used yesterday because the gun was just sliding off a little bit, so I thought a little wider tape would do the trick. So I'm gonna try both of them today and see how they work, and I'll report on that. That was the first thing. The tape made a huge difference. A huge difference. The second thing, I was very, very careful to have the rivet in the middle of the bucking bar, because when you shoot it once, your hand slides up or down and you can't see it because your hand is way in there. It's about 12 inches inside the skin and you can't see it. So you have to feel it and position it back in the middle of the bar, the bucking bar. So that's another thing. Another thing that I lacked yesterday that really frustrated me to no ends is I had the Harbor Freight lights and when it was powerful and everything, I saw with it okay. At its best, I saw okay. And that is not good because you will be frustrated. You can't see inside. So another thing, you need good light. So I got my flying flashlight, and I got an extra one that is very, very powerful. So, and I tried it yesterday, and I think the way to go is while I'm riveting, and that is what this can do. It can just go like this and have it sideways like that or like this, but I think this is the best position this way, and I can see very clearly inside with that light. And that light I got from Walmart, and I actually got it to go use it fishing, and it's rechargeable. That's the thing about that. It is rechargeable with a USB cord, and I can have it out of my way while I'm riveting. It's far away. So a good light is very important. So far this is the result, and to just let everybody know that that is starting their build, the plans call to have that one rivet first, the intersection between the 707 and the front spar. That one rivet and the one from the other side also, they are a little longer rivet than the rest of them. So you do these two, then you go up, all the way up. When you finish that, you go down to the root. And obviously this is so everything settles in place before you continue. When you finish, you go up and all the way down, then you go horizontal like that all the way to the end right here. That is what the plan calls for, and the idea of having the rear spar cliched in while I put the skin was a really great idea. I think it was fantastic. It helped me a lot because it held everything solid while I'm working with the skin. Then once I got the skin on, clicked in, I removed it and set it aside, and that made things a lot easier. Okay, this is an experiment with trying that pink tape, and we'll see how that will go. All I did is just flip the edge over in on the tape just to make it easier to get off once I have it. I'm kind of aiming for the middle of the rivet to be in the tape, and all I have is just a regular bar, bucking bar, and see how that goes. And the light is working beautiful, I might add. let's see how that worked out. I am gonna go ahead. I am amazed. I am really amazed on how beautiful this works with the tape. How clean that rivet it came out to be. And I guess y'all can see that too. So my advice, use tape. Put the next rivet in. Then while I got the tape in my hand, I can put it where the head of the rivet is in a different spot. And we can do the next rivet. And I think you guys pretty much got the idea of what I'm trying to say about the tape. And so far I see no difference between the pink tape and the blue tape that I used yesterday. That pink tape is made for, it's not supposed to be very sticky like the blue one. Honestly, I don't see the difference so far. It is just as sticky as the blue one, but this is just use of one time, and the blue one is a little bit cheaper, a couple of dollars cheaper per roll, but it's 60 yards. This airplane, we're talking about budget of $150,000 to $200,000 budget. So of course I am not gonna be stingy with $2 if that's gonna help build the airplane any better or any faster, or make it any easier. So for things like that, I'm sure you guys would agree with me. Looks great. I wish there was a way to film that, but I'm sorry I can't. But it looks very nice. And now I finished riveting all the horizontal ones and the vertical ones from both sides. And it is time to rivet the perimeter. And the plan calls to do the upper and lower first, then after that click on the rear spar, then rivet that. We're going to use the pneumatic squeezer for that. Well, I would like to get a caliper in there and actually check the diameter on this rivet, just to gauge how much more should I turn the squeezer. Okay, this is 133,000. I don't know if you guys can see the, yep, here we go. 133,000. Okay guys, the thread on this squeezer is 32 threads per inch. So it actually, just the number works out to every full revolution of that squeezer pin is about 32 thousandths. So if I want the squeezer to squeeze another go in, move in another 32 thousandths, I would make one full turn of that. So you can calculate how much you need, and you have to count for the jaws itself. It kind of separates, kind of flex out open, so you have to calculate for that. So we'll give it, I made a half a turn, so let's see if that would complete the riveting of this rivet. All right. Now let's see how much. And please excuse me, I like to use my caliper. And 142,000. That is perfect for this rivet, because the rivet diameter is 0.93. If you multiply that by 1.5, you come up around 140,000. So 142,000 is perfect for him. Now I finished the vertical stabilizer, with the exception of 3 rivets here. These are blind rivets. I am waiting on my rivet puller to come in tomorrow. I ordered that from Home Depot, and I'll be doing that tomorrow, but with the exception of that, everything else is done. The next step after going up, then going down, then horizontal, is to rivet all the lower and upper rivets. These two up front here was a bear. It was very tight, and I wished I had a rivet squeezer yoke that had no hole in it. It would have helped quite a bit in that process. Also, it would have helped riveting the rear spar, because the head of the rivet that rivets the doubler to the rear spar sticks out just a little bit, and it's in the way. So if you do have a no hole yoke, that would help a lot. There's a couple of rivets, actually 4 rivets here on the rudder hinge, that I had to use the rivet gun and a bucking bar because it wouldn't work otherwise. Overall, I drilled out a couple of rivets that I wasn't very happy with. So other than that, everything is okay. Also, as far as the tape is concerned, the purplish pinkish tape worked out better than the blue tape. The blue tape on a couple of the rivets here, it left the tape on the rivet. I used it when I was using the squeezer also. The pink one did a little better, maybe 30–40% better. It never did leave apart, but I had to peel it slow. The light helped quite a bit too. Tomorrow I will be making a new video, and this next video I am just gonna sum up all what I've done with the vertical stabilizer and mention all the notes that I have. Tonight I'm gonna sit down and actually write those notes so I can make sure that I include every issue that I have with this part of the build listed for everybody to see tomorrow. So if you are building an RV-14A and you have not started yet, you might want to watch tomorrow's video, or the video that I'm gonna make tomorrow, and so you can avoid some hassles and plan this a little better. and we hope to see you on the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.